All right, Red and Whites, welcome back to another match preview. Today we're joined by a very special guest on the channel to give us a lowdown on the league leaders, Leicester. It's Phil from 100% LCFC. How's it going, Phil?
Pretty darn good at the moment, Freddie. It doesn't get much better for fans when you sat top of the Premier League.
So let's get straight into it, mate. First of all, how would you even begin to sum up this season at Leicester, mate?
Well, I don't think you can really. I mean, Leicester's pretty much the same sort of size club in many shapes and forms as Southampton. You guys last season tasted a little bit of this, didn't you? Before Christmas, you were up right near the top and then started to fade away. I think most fans, if we're honest, it was lovely to be up there in September and October. You know, when we got to Christmas time and we were at the top at Christmas Day, that was something we've never had in our 130 odd year history. I think to get into the new year and still be up there was, again, we were just living the dream. The penny seems to have dropped for Leicester fans when we won 1-0 away at Crystal Palace the other week. Suddenly all the fans started to think that, you know, there really was a chance of, you know, maybe this could happen.
Yeah, so it's like you said, you know, it's sort of been a bit of a fairy tale since being bottom of the league about this time last season. So what's the atmosphere like in and around the city at the moment at Leicester?
It's buzzing, really, as you can imagine. Yeah, you know, it's you stick a Leicester top on now and walk around, not just Leicester, but, you know, I was down in London earlier in the week meeting some other football fanzines and just wearing my Leicester kit on the train. That, you know, the train conductor's talking to you, people are looking at you and stopping you and wishing you luck. I chatted to somebody who was a Sheffield United fan and he's saying, I hope you do it for us. So yeah, everybody's wishing Leicester well. And it would be just the same if it was Southampton, to be fair. I think everybody would love to see a team outside the big boys give it a real go, which is what Leicester are doing. And it should give hope to teams like Southampton, West Ham, Palace that, you know, maybe next season they can do a little bit more than, you know, just aim for a mid-table or a top 10 finish.
Yeah, it's sort of like the ultimate underdog story, isn't it?
Very much so, yeah.
So now you're 5 points clear at the top. Do you feel there's a sense of creeping, maybe just a little bit of creeping expectation or pressure to deliver the title?
I think lots of people who aren't Leicester City fans are starting to say those sorts of things. I think most Leicester fans are realistic and we're just enjoying it game by game. And you know, if you ask me now, honestly, do I think we can win it? I just think I'm going to look forward to playing you lot on Sunday. And, you know, I think there's a fairly good chance now that we might finish in the top four, which is just an unbelievable statement in its own right. So can we go on and win it? Who knows? Let's wait and see.
It's the think about it. It's the ultimate football cliche, isn't it? Oh, I'm just taking it game by game.
You just can't look too much further ahead because, again, much as if it was the Saints doing it, I'm sure you would all be there going, we'll screw it up in the last couple of games. You watch.
Well, there's a question for one of our readers, actually. At Mark J. Tilbury asked, was there any doubt that you couldn't go the distance? When did you think it would have dropped off?
September. You know, I mean, nobody expected this. Last season, we played well all of last season, even though we were bottom with about 12 games to go. So we were playing well all season. But as you know, some teams like Hull and teams like Leicester can play well all season and get relegated. I'm thinking Burnley as well. So we knew that the team was pretty all right. They just needed to turn a corner, and they did that and started picking the wins up. But I think most Leicester fans would have. Our aim was to finish higher than 17th again this season, and we would have loved a middle to top, you know, of the table sort of finish. But nothing like this.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's obviously something Ranieri's doing. So let's just talk tactics for a second. The 4-4-2 formation is a bit of a rarity in the league at the moment. So what is Ranieri doing to make it work? What can you describe their style of play?
It's pretty traditional and it's old school. It's I don't want to call it Sunday morning football, but it's like round up a load of lads who fancy playing football and want to play football, and let's play 4-4-2. And most people seem to know where they play in that sort of system. He doesn't tweak it too much before the game, and luckily we've not had any injuries, so it's the same team most weeks. But if things aren't going right at half time, he's not frightened of me. But generally it's that 4-4-2, as you say, and you know, with players dropping in and out, it's an old school midfield. It's like football we remember from the 80s and 90s, where you've got a defensive midfielder and an attacking midfielder, and when one goes, the other sits. You know, you've got a pair of wingers who take people on and get down to the byline and sling a ball in. We've got somebody up front who ferrets around, Jamie Vardy, and chases every ball down. He's not necessarily the greatest footballer in the world, but if you said to somebody give 110%, because you know, Jamie Vardy's like the player you grab out the stands and or the fan, and you say, you know, we're one short this week, lads. Who fancies a game? We've got some boots. Put your Southampton or Leicester shirt on, and you're up front, mate. He's just living that dream.
Yeah, it's the ultimate sort of kind of echoing just a second ago. It's the ultimate underdog story. Really. He's come from non-league, hasn't he? 5 years ago, he scored 35 goals for Fleetwood, and now he's second highest top scorer in the Premier League. You know, scoring for his country as well.
You might have seen him score for England. His little back flick. I think 4 years to the day ago, he was scoring for Fleetwood against Bath, AFC Bath, somebody like that. You know, non-league stuff. So yeah, a bit of a change in 4 years.
So let's just talk about Vardy for a second. You know, other than Mahrez and Vardy, who are grabbing all the headlines, who would you say are the key players in the team right now? Maybe behind the scenes or that are unsung.
I'm probably going to pick out our centre halves in that sort of unsung area, which is Robert Huth, who we picked up from Stoke. Stoke didn't want him, so they chucked him away for £3 million last January. And we took him, and he's been, you know, just a rock. And I think there's talk of him maybe even making an appearance for Germany again. He played for them 19 times a long time ago while he was at Chelsea. And, you know, by the looks of them on Saturday, they could do with a big, giant German centre-half back there. And Wes Morgan, his partner, who again, Forrest let go. And the pair of them have been pretty immense at the back. So they've been the unsung heroes.
Sure. So finally, can we have a score prediction? How do you see this? How do you see this game going?
Well, it depends which Southampton turns up. That's the answer to this game, because we know which Leicester's going to turn up because we've been pretty consistent all season. So there's going to be 1 or 2 goals from Leicester on Sunday. But if it's the Southampton who can turn over teams like Arsenal 4-0 or whatever it was, or if it's the team who can capitulate, that will make the difference. So I think Leicester will get 2 goals. Southampton, you probably know better how many they're going to get. Is it going to be 0 or could it be 3? I don't know.
Sure, yeah, and just one final one is the golden question that everyone's probably asking you up and down the country. You know, seeing somebody in the street, do you think Leicester are going to win the title?
Don't know. I think there's another weekend this weekend. I think Spurs are playing at Liverpool on Saturday. That'll be a big game. Then if Spurs were to lose that or win that, then that suddenly puts a different spin on our game against you. If Spurs lose and we beat you, crikey, we're 8 points clear with 6 games to go. I'm still going to give you the same answer, which is I'm just happy if we make Champions League, which is an amazing thing anyway. Perfect. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out more Leicester content, head over to 100% LCFC. And if you like the video, drop it a like and subscribe to the channel. We will see you soon.